In this guided meditation, you'll be directing your focus to your back, using the spine as a sort of railway of consciousness. You'll move your awareness through your spine, starting from the base and moving upwards. As we do so, you'll make minor adjustments to your positioning to find more ease and comfort in your own back. So you'll need to be laying down for this, on your back, on the floor, a bed, somewhere relatively level and comfortable. The spine is a bony structure, 33 small individual segments that fit together to form a greater whole. It keeps your form, expresses movement, and encases major nerves. It's important. And unfortunately for many of us, it also hurts a lot. There are so many moving parts within it that things can get stuck really easily. But luckily, with some attention, we can listen to what's going on in our backs, hear what it's trying to tell us, rearrange ourselves accordingly. So take a few moments to get settled, adjusting your body to a position where right and left sides feel symmetrical. During this time, you'll be asked to make some small adjustments to your posture. So trust that the form you're taking now won't be the exact form that you're ending with. In that sense, you are in no way committed to staying exactly how you are now. Change is always possible. My hope is that through this guided meditation, you'll feel in your body improvement. The improvement that is accompanied by making small changes. So take a deep breath in through your nose, let it out through your mouth, and then take another in through the nose, bigger this time, and out through the mouth. And then one more time like that. Feel the movement of your rib cage. Envision the dome-shaped muscle spanning the entirety of the bottom of the rib cage, your diaphragm, front to back and left to right. The diaphragm actually connects to a few of your vertebrae to work directly, so this makes diaphragmatic breaths an effective method at mobilizing and energizing the spine. So keep that in mind as we continue, using that full diaphragmatic breath to your advantage. Let's get started mapping the spine now. We'll start from the bottom, our sacral and lumbar areas of the spine. So go ahead and bend your knees, put your feet flat on the floor, about hip width, and adjust to that change by repositioning your body however you need to. Maybe lifting and resetting your hips, maybe lengthening the low spine along the floor, wiggling a little bit. And then slowly begin rocking the knees from right to left. Very small movement. And feel how that rocking of the knees translate into movement of the low back on the floor. And keep this movement going right to left. We have big swaths of connective tissue called fascia that surrounds our whole body. And fascia thickens as a means of support in places of the body. And the low back is one of those areas. It's called an aponeurosis. Anyway, it's several lines of fascia intersecting and overlapping. And rocking the low back on the floor like this puts light pressure on that fascial thickening and can actually help to break up unnecessary crosslinks in the fibers and create a more of a gliding effect in the lumbar structures. So it can just make the whole low back loosen just slightly. Feel the low back unsticking from itself, letting each of the structures therein move a little bit freely. Then go ahead and stop the rocking of the knees and leave them still for a moment. At the very base of the spine, we have a flat triangular bone. It's made of several fused vertebrae, and it's called the sacrum. And sacrum actually means sacred in Latin. It holds a lot of significance. It's associated with our emotion, creativity, sexuality, and it's actually pulled in all different directions from the surrounding fascia. This triangular bone doesn't articulate perfectly with the pelvis, so the meeting place between the sacrum and the pelvis, the hips, can be a source of a lot of stickiness, a lot of discomfort and pain. So Putting this little sway in the knees, some pressure on the sacrum puts a little more space in between that sacrum and pelvis. So bring some energy and attention now to your sacrum, your sacred root, your spine's grounding source. And you'll keep the feet flat on the floor here, still with the knees bent. Mentally align your sacrum to center, from front to back, side to side, top to bottom. Find the center of the base of your spine. And relax the surrounding structures, soften the pelvic floor, soften the lower abdomen. Now walk your feet out about a foot on each side, slightly wider than your hips, and knock your knees together. Rest them on one another. Continue to intend that energy of rest and relaxation towards the structures at the base of the spine. Your legs should be exerting no effort whatsoever. You're relying entirely on gravity and friction and the integrity of your structure to keep them there. Effortless. Now for a moment, return to the breath. A deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And next time you breathe in, expand your belly so much with the inhale that you can feel the lower abdomen and lumbar spine affected by the movement. Keep your legs just as they are, with your knees knocked in. And with tiny, barely noticeable movements, begin to rock your pelvis forward and backward. Again, keep the movement small, nearly undetectable to an outside eye. And you'll feel that as the pokey parts on the front side of your pelvis tilt up towards your head, you'll feel your sacrum rock up too, and your lumbar spine flatten. Then as the pokey parts on the front side of the pelvis tilt down towards your feet, the sacrum will rock down too, and the low spine will lift. Now pause your rocking and position the pelvis to neutral. And see if you can create just a small natural curve in the low spine, not arching, but not pressing down at all either. A neutral lumbar spine, a natural curve. Our lumbar spine is made up of 5 big vertebrae, and they often get very compressed because they carry the whole weight of the body as it succumbs to gravity. But the state of the body is changeable, and it's always possible to create more space. So with your consciousness resting in your low spine, imagine making space between each of the vertebrae and the bottom part of your spine. This will feel like lengthening, not arching. So if the process of trying to create space actually makes you feel more compressed, then reverse the movement and see if you can make that lengthening parallel to the floor rather than up. Take another deep breath in, relaxing the abdomen. Now rotating your consciousness to the base of your rib cage, that diaphragm. Feel the width of your rib cage, front to back, left to right. Connecting with the breath. As you breathe in, let the movement of the diaphragm create pressure in your abdomen so that your belly lifts and sinks back towards the spine when you breathe out on the exhale. Find a softness in the whole abdomen, an effortless rise and fall. Let that softness translate to the whole bottom half of your spine. Now visualize your entire rib cage. 12 pairs of ribs, all connected to the spine. 12 vertebrae, creating the length of the thoracic spine, your mid-back. With the expansion and contraction of the ribs with the breath, feel how the vertebrae separate from each other just slightly. Visualize the upper mid-back elongating along the floor just as you did the lumbar spine, as if you were sitting up a little bit taller in a chair. With each breath comes more space, more openness, more release. Belly, chest, whole rib cage expanding. As we mentally move up the rib cage, vertebra by vertebra, We reach the section of our spine that's in line with the shoulder blades. One by one, move your shoulder blades in and down. Right shoulder in and down. Left shoulder in and down. Let this action close the distance between the scapula as well as open the chest and shoulders slightly towards the ceiling. You might find that with the shoulders taken down away from the ears, the spine therein feels a little longer and stronger. Now we're nearing the top of the spine, the cervical spine, the 7 vertebrae that make up our neck. Slowly, very slowly, rock the head from left to right. Feel the pressure on the back side of the head. Barely perceptible to an observer. Make the movement small. Right and left. And find center, face pointed up at the ceiling. Now ever so slightly tuck the chin towards the chest, maybe an inch, maybe 2. Let this lengthen the back of your neck. Drawing your chin a little more towards your chest. This creates space between the vertebrae that carry the weight of the head, the weight of your thoughts, your heavy brain. Gently press the back of your head harder into the ground. Feel the muscles on the back side of your neck firing. Then let that action go and feel the head relaxing and resting easily on the ground beneath you. Feel the whole spine resting underneath you, your whole backbone. We have now mapped the entire spine, brought some awareness to every part of your backbone, starting from the bottom with the sacrum and its relation to the pelvis. We moved up to the lumbar spine, lengthening, creating a slight natural curve. To the thoracic spine, expanding with the breath. And to the cervical spine, long and strong, supporting the skull. Note how just a few moments of making small movements can affect change. How relaxing the body and the mind can affect change. Note how it is possible to create space, possible to create change, and possible to undo a little bit of your pain. Rest here on the floor for as long as you need, feeling the rhythm of your breath, connectedness within your body, the expansiveness of silence. Rest your bones, showing love to your spine. Be long and take care.